Hey everyone, today we're going to break down a fantastic tool for your teaching toolkit, the STAR strategy. If you're looking for a clear, effective way to get your students' evidence-based writing to the next level, you are in exactly the right place.
So let's just dive right into that big question, right? The one that so many of us teachers think about. How do we get our students to move past just summarizing and actually use the text as evidence to back up their ideas? It's a huge leap for them, and it's a super common challenge in the classroom.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about the challenge itself. Then we'll introduce the STAR strategy, break down exactly how it works. I'll give you some real actionable tips for your classroom. And finally, we'll look at why this thing is just so effective. Let's do it.
All right, first up, let's really define the problem we're trying to solve. What are those hurdles our students are always tripping over when we ask them to write with evidence from a text?
Does this feel a little too familiar? Students really struggle to get their thoughts organized for a short response. Or maybe they have a tough time finding the right piece of evidence. Or my personal favorite, they just drop a quote in there with zero explanation for why it matters. Our goal is to help them nail all three of these things: organizing, incorporating, and most importantly, analyzing.
And that is exactly where our solution comes in. So let's meet the STAR strategy. A really simple but incredibly powerful little tool designed to give your students a clear path to follow.
And here it is, the heart of the whole thing. STAR is an acronym which makes it super easy to remember. It stands for Setup, Text Evidence, Analyze, and Restate. It's a memorable four-step process that basically gives students a roadmap from the question all the way to a well-supported answer.
So the main thing to get here is that STAR isn't just some vague suggestion. It's a concrete, repeatable process. It really takes the guesswork out of writing for students and gives them a reliable structure they can lean on every single time.
Now you're probably wondering, okay, but is this right for my classroom? Well, here's the breakdown. The strategy is absolutely perfect for students in grades 4 through 8. It's designed for informational, text-based writing, and it gives them amazing support during those really crucial planning and drafting stages. Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. Now we get to the really good part, the how. Let's deconstruct each and every step of the STAR method.
So here they are, all 4 steps laid out. Think of this as the bird's eye view of the whole process. You've got setup, text evidence, analyze, and restate. See how each one builds logically on the one before it? That's what creates a really cohesive and well-argued response.
Let's kick things off with S for setup. Now, this is the foundation of the entire response. All the student has to do is take the question they were asked and turn it into a statement. That's it! That statement becomes their topic sentence. It's such a simple first step, but it's crucial for giving their writing immediate focus.
Next, we're on to T for text evidence. This is where students get to be little text detectives. Their job is to hunt down a direct quote, or maybe paraphrase a part of the text that directly supports the statement they just made. This teaches them, very explicitly, to ground their claims in actual proof.
All right, now for A, analyze. And let me tell you, this step is where the magic really happens. It is not enough to just drop a quote and run. The real work is explaining how that evidence proves their point. Those guiding questions, why does this matter? What does this show? That's what pushes them into that deeper, more critical thinking we're all looking for.
And finally, we bring it all home with R for restate. This is where the student just wraps everything up nice and neat by restating their main idea, maybe in a slightly new way. It gives the whole response a sense of closure and really reinforces their point, leaving the reader with a clear, confident final thought. Okay, so we've got the theory down. It's clear, it's structured, awesome. But how do we actually bring this strategy to life in a real, busy classroom? Let's get into some super practical tips.
Honestly, a think aloud demo is one of the best ways to introduce this. You can model it just like this example. You'd say, okay class, for S, I'm going to set up my answer. It is important to recycle. For T, I need my evidence. For example, recycling 1 ton of paper. For A, I analyze it. This shows that. And for R, I restate my point. That's why recycling is. It makes the whole thinking process visible.
And to really help students remember the steps, make it visual. I love this idea. You can assign a little icon and a specific color to each part of STAR. Then students can go back and highlight their own writing with those colors. It gives them this immediate visual check, like, oh, wait, I don't see any green. I forgot to analyze.
You know those kids who just stare at the blank page and don't know where to start? This is for them.
Sentence starters are such a fantastic scaffolding tool. Giving them phrases like, according to the article, or this is important because, can be just the little push they need to get their own ideas flowing.
And here are 2 more absolute game changers. First, use a graphic organizer, just a simple sheet with 4 boxes, 1 for each letter of STAR. It helps them plan everything out. And second, let them talk it out. Having students verbally rehearse their STAR response with a partner is so powerful for clarifying their thoughts before they even start writing. So, after all that, the method, the tips, let's just zoom out for a second and ask that big question one last time. Why is this strategy so powerful? I mean, why does it actually work?
This slide really just nails it. It works because it gives students a clear, predictable structure, which lowers that feeling of being overwhelmed. It explicitly pushes them past just repeating facts and into real analysis. And what's so important is that it's shown to work for a huge range of students, especially our diverse learners, who really thrive with this kind of clear step-by-step process.
So, if this has got you excited and you want to dive even deeper into strategies just like this one, writingclassroom.org is a really excellent place to find more tools and information.
And we'll leave you with this question. Just think for a second about your own classroom, your upcoming units. What text, what article, what story are you going to conquer first with the STAR strategy? Thanks so much for joining me.